Hey, what's up, guys? And the big question here today is whether we're going to be able to keep this going or not. We are playing against Kanoa here in the AFC Cup. Should be a match that we can win fairly easily, but you know how Football Manager is from time to time. Sometimes it works the way you want to, sometimes it doesn't. So we'll see what happens. We technically are 3 points behind April 25th, who appears to have won their last match 1-0. So this is actually an opportunity more than it is a challenge, because if we can win big here, we might be able to go ahead in goal differential. So let's see what happens. Lingguan Dove runs it up himself. Okay, we'll let him go ahead and take that up to Huang Chirwei. And that's going to be the end of that kickoff. Zhou Hongyi over to Feng Xiaochi, and he gives up on that. A little odd for him to do that, but you know how he is. Silla wins the interception down to Menegong, and Menegong over to Chen Chengji over to Nene. That's 1-0. Not even 3 minutes into this, and Nene has scored already. 1-0. So Mars FC here doing fairly well, coming off of that big match against Athletic Club Taipei, which was not that long ago at all. Of course, you remember that one. That was the one where Ndaye scored the miracle goal in the 92nd minute that won the championship for us. Should make it a little bit easier for us here in the AFC Cup. And that shot isn't bothering anybody. Should make it easier for us in the AFC Cup, because we don't have to worry anymore about the league, right? We can play all of our scrubs and other players in the league all we want. It's not a big problem. Silla with it up to Menegong. And so it'll give us a good chance to look at some of the players we normally wouldn't look at. And here's Menegong from the back over to Chen Chengju, and he scores. Man, he finally scores. I tell you, he's been shooting like crazy. It's his second goal of the season. He's been shooting like nuts, and you knew he was going to score at some point in time. That makes it 2-0 here for Mars FC. And this is a really positive turn of events. Let's see what we can do afterwards. So it was Menegong passing this here to Chen Chengju, who was in an excellent position. You can see again that nobody's guarding him, and that's why these players who play a little bit further back and yet who attack can be so powerful, because everybody's standing in front of them, looking at him and putting their hands in their pockets. 2-0 the score. Here's Nene again, and boy, that one would not only hit off the wall, that one went about a couple miles into the stratosphere. No fans behind the goal, so nobody to catch it. Feng Xiaochi now with it. And there's the header, and it unfortunately is deflected out, and we're going to have to go back and grab it again. And there is Silla, and he's got it again over to Zhou Hongyi. Back to Silla, over to Huang Chirwei at the very back, and down and over to Bamba. Now to Chen Chengju, back to Bamba again. And he passes back to Huang Chirwei. This is the way that we keep control. It's passed forward to Feng Xiaochi, who again decides not to even try to run. Which is a problem. Chen Chengji now with this over to Ndaye, and there is Nene, who should have scored, and instead, unfortunately, he had a really good position on that one, but was not the great finish that we've come to expect from Nene. Then again, I mean, we are only 15 minutes into this match, so we may have more to come. And there was a man actually guarding Nene this time around. Leibolon over to Huang Chirwei, who passes this forward, and unfortunately that one goes to nobody. Really bad decision by Huang Chirwei. Chen Chengju with it now. Walks it up, which is what we want to see happen. Over to Lingguan Da, then down to Ndaye. Ndaye finds Nene, and Nene should have really passed there. He had a man. Over to Ndaye, who is knocked down. They're not going to call that as a foul. I think it could have gone either way. Zhou Hongyi with it over to Feng Xiaochi, and that is deflected off for a corner. You can see we have a pretty good contingent here. Of course, this is a home match for us. The last one was played over at their place, and I realize now this team was in Saipan that we're playing. So, we went all the way over to Saipan. No wonder we had so many fans there. Ndaye back to Huang Chirwei. Huang Chirwei over to Kader Bamba lumps this forward, looking for Ndaye, and finds him. And let's see, who's he going to cross to? Feng Xiaochi behind him, and dude, that should have been a goal. Good shot by Feng Xiaochi, who again had nobody guarding him, and he just misses the goal. He just aims the wrong way. And here is Feng Xiaochi with the corner, and we have just been hammering it, and we've been piling it on. It's been a pretty long match already. Nene, and we're not even close to like a fourth of the way through it, or a third of the way, I guess. Huang Chirwei now with it over to Chen Chengju, and that is deflected off for yet another corner. So the fans, of course, are keeping up the faith and are happy and are cheering and are very, very excited. And Joe Hong-yi is knocked down. Again, no call. So this referee not so interested in calling fouls in the box, but he did call that one, and that was pretty poor there by Miranda, but he doesn't get a card at all. So here is our next attempt at a direct shot, probably, by Nene from this excellent position. And he bends it over and just misses the goal. That one just whisks off the over the very top and ends up coming down, hitting the net on its way out. So it remains 2-0 for Mars FC. Nene lumps this forward, looking for Joe Hong-yi, can't find him, and now it's Menegon with it. Menegon down to Nene. And Nene's shot looked a little bit more like a cross, ends up missing everything. So not the best job I've seen from him. Another shot, another free kick from close range, and Nene scores that one. That's number 30 of the season overall, including all competitive matches, and that makes it 3-0 for Mars FC. And you can see here, I mean, he just bends it right around the wall. Nothing they can do about it. Their keeper has no hope, no chance, and that makes it 3-0. Here is the corner now from Feng Xiaochi. Over looking for someone. I'm not sure who it was. It goes back to him, and he sends it back to Menegon. Menegon with it. Takes a long shot from really, really far out, and that one ends up going over everybody's head. Doesn't bother anybody at all, and we are back trying to play defense. Huang Churwei with it over to Linguanda, down to Kader Bamba. Bamba finds Silla. Silla over to Menegon. And Menegon crosses and can't find much, and there's Ndaye with the header, and that header is finally working for him. We've seen him with many attempts at scoring a goal from those headers in recent matches, and they haven't worked for him, and then this one finally goes in. So you can see that here he's in the right position. He's actually going away from the goal and manages to get enough forward momentum on that ball to knock it straight past the keeper, and that makes it 4-0 for Mars FC. So we're exerting our dominance once again. When we play matches like this, I look at this and I think we should be able to win this competition. Man, we look awesome. But unfortunately, we don't always look like this. And we'll see what happens when we play April 25th over in North Korea. That's going to be a big one. Kader Bamba back to Huang Churwei. Lumps this forward, looking for Ndaye. It's going to find him. There he is. And unfortunately, Ndaye not able to bring it down, but then wins it back, passes over to Silla, whose shot is saved. Almost a goal for Silla. That would really be something if we had all three of those guys up front scoring. Menegon now with the corner, looking for Bamba. He can't get his head onto it. Unfortunately, it's back to Ndaye. And one of these days, I should probably actually make a corner routine because I just leave it on default. That's what I've done so far with this team, and it's worked. So this was a good job by Ndaye to win this ball back from the guy who he was guarding, who just stood there. Silla with the shot, but unfortunately wasn't able to find the net at all. And we are finally at halftime. It's about as long as that match against Athletic Club Taipei was. I mean, we're about 10 minutes into the video. So we were only through half of this one. I guess if the video is long, you know that it means that we just had a barrage of goals. Joe Hong-yi here with this, back to Bamba. And I wonder what the attendance is like. It looks like we're getting more and more fans showing up for these evening AFC Cup matches. So this might do a lot of good for helping to grow the club. Remember, Taiwan's a big country. You got about 23 million people. We should be able to get more than, like 300 or whatever to match. At some point in time, somebody should take notice and say, something's going on here. This team actually looks pretty good. 4-0 the score remains. Feng Xiaochi pops this one up inside to absolutely nobody in particular. And here they come with a counterattack. There's not much room for a counterattack because we have so many guys back, but unfortunately they were able to get a shot off. Luckily for us, that one hit off the sidebar and came back out. Leiboldun here is out of position. And the reason why, this is that sweeper-keeper thing where he looks at it here. He makes a decision, says, okay, I'm going to go up on this. And he should really probably have stayed back. The counterattack kind of worked. It was a mistake, I think, by our defense to sort of allow that to work because we needed to have we had the guys back. They just weren't far back enough. They were all playing a little bit further up. And so let's see if we can get a goal back since it didn't exactly work for them. Feng Xiaochi is injured. We're going to let him stay on. Might as well. Silla finally gets his goal, number 5 of the season. You knew that was coming. 5-0 now for Mars FC. And Silla, the way that he scores this goal makes it look like he's finally getting shaking off the cobwebs. He just comes from out of nowhere, and his man is about probably a yard or two away from him. There's no way he can possibly defend him. The question is one of offside, and he was probably offside. I mean, it's hard to tell from that angle, but it's pretty clear that it probably should have been called back for offside. But I guess he scored with such an emphatic shot that they decided they might as well let that one count. Leibold on here with the save. Sort of like if you watch the NBA and you see, a guy who does a blatant traveling move, but it looks really cool, so they let it stand. That's kind of like what we had here. Huang Chuwei lumps this forward, and there's nobody there. Kind of bad idea. Menegong, though, runs over and grabs this. The keeper was out of position for a while, and Silla knocks a header straight past him. So Silla now has 2 goals. He has evened Nene's total. We are up 6-0. This is perhaps going to be the largest margin of victory we've ever had if we can keep pouring them on. And we're not going to let up on the gas pedal, of course. It's interesting in American sports, especially in American football and college football, racking up the score is very much frowned upon. He's onside, clearly. But when you're in this kind of position, you want to rack up the score as much as you possibly can, because goal differential does make a difference. And if we tie again with April 25th, that goal differential is going to become critical. Feng Xiaochi back to Zhou Hongyi. Zhou Hongyi moves it up the left side back to Huang Chuwei. We're going to take our time. Let's lump forward looking for Silla. Silla just can't get there in time. It was not the best idea. Again, we have that problem from our guys in the back. Here's Nene about to get his hat trick, and he flubs it. Oh, man. He tries to just sort of, loft that one over the keeper, and he does a good job of getting in the right position. But, you got to just shoot it, man. If he had moved a little bit to his left, all he had to do is move like a step to his left, he could have passed it into the goal. Would have been the easiest shot in the world. And instead, he decides to do something fancy. Well, speaking of something fancy, there's Pearson, their keeper, falling on top of that one. And I'm not quite sure what he's trying to accomplish. He's not going to take away the last 6 goals at once. Hinson, however, trying to get one back and does. So that was pretty bad by our defense. We shouldn't be giving up any goals to them. Hinson scores his first goal ever for Kanoa. And so Pearson ends up with the assist, and this is a poor job by our defense. This guy shouldn't be in a position to score, and we should at least guard him instead of sort of standing there looking sheepishly. 6-1, the margin of victory. I guess we always have to give up a goal. And Chen Chengju with it, and he's dispossessed. We got to watch out because we don't want to give up another one. And Leibold is able to get onto this. I guess there would have been an argument for us to just simply close up shop, but really the name of the game for me is to try to score as many as you possibly can. And so we've won this one 6-1, 2.78 XG. We dominated possession, of course, about 70%. We looked good, but not necessarily world-beating. But we'll see what happens, and we'll see if that margin of victory is enough to really create some distance between ourselves and April 25th. Talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.